Hi there, I care and you matter. I'm Shannon and welcome to my channel. And welcome to another casual conversation. Today is Sunday, October 27th. I had to check the calendar. And we are on the eve of the week I have been dreading for about a month. So good times. Tomorrow morning at 10:45, my son Mark, my adopted son who has many special needs, has a scheduled interview with the Social Security Administration. And fortunately, it's a phone interview. But yeah, I'm dreading it mainly because it's just the unknown. I'm very organized. I've got all my paperwork. I've got everything they could possibly want to ask me about. But Mark is a wild card. I don't know how he's going to do. Some days he processes better than others. His memory isn't always reliable. And sometimes he can get really aggressive and combative if he feels he's being overly questioned, and it puts him in a place of unease. He also has, it's not really a tic. I don't know how to explain it. When he's processing or trying to think of a word and he can't think of the word, he does this NG sound repeatedly as almost a placeholder to keep the other person's attention. Or sometimes he's not, most of the time he's not even aware of it, but let's see if I can say it. He keeps asking me what they're going to ask. So let's see. He goes, what they ask me, mom, what they going to ask me about. It sounds like that. And as you can imagine, that doesn't go real well over the phone. Yeah. So that's just, I'm not looking forward to that. That's tomorrow at 10:45. And then on Friday, at the end of the week, we have his social worker coming every year, once a year. A state social worker comes in, and it lasts anywhere from 3 to normally 5. I've had them go as long as 6 hours. It was quite the ordeal. And they come in and they ask really tedious questions about Mark's abilities, the accommodations we make in our home for him. And they interview Mark. They check his room to make sure he actually has a bed and that he's actually well taken care of. And so, yeah, that's all happening this week. And in my last casual conversation video, I talked about the fact that I was going to try and time box my dread, which I did. And I did pretty well at that. I think I got stuff done that I ordinarily wouldn't have done. But when I looked back at things this weekend, let me just show you, for example, what a normal week. Okay, so here's September 23rd through September 27th. I intentionally try not to plan things, or at least I don't write. Okay, first of all, really quick, I use my little agenda, my little planner. It is a weekly/monthly one. It's Blue Sky. Love this. I use it as my daily task list. And so the night before, I write down my task list for the upcoming day so that when I get up in the morning, I know what I'm striving to do, where I need to apply my attention. And I don't try to plan anything or write anything on Saturdays and Sundays. That's respite. That's time to relax. So this is just a normal week. And you can see it's pretty darn full. I always have my meals I write down. And that doesn't mean that the meals are always what I make. But I try to make a general idea of, okay, what groceries do I have on hand? What meals can I make without having to go to the store or buy anything? Because now that Jason is unemployed, we are on a very strict grocery budget. So I try to use up what I have. Obviously, that makes more sense. But just because I write it on Monday for Monday's dinner doesn't mean that we have it Monday. We might have it Thursday. So there's a lot of flexibility. But long story short, you can see there's a ton of stuff that I'm getting done each week. Well, by the time Wednesday rolled around this week, let me get to this week. What was this week? The 21st. Oh, this is embarrassing. Okay, this is really embarrassing. Look at that week. Not a darn thing is written on it. Wednesday night, I sit down and I look at this. I'm like, where has my time gone? And it dawned on me. That's because I have not been well. Long story short, I've been dealing with a multitude of ovarian cysts this week and kidney stones. I have never had kidney stones, but lo and behold, great, good times. And I realized, I asked the doctor, I've never had this before. know what's causing this. Long story short, it could be my hormonal fluctuations because of menopause. But if I'm really honest, she was listing things that can cause it. Oh, boy. The beginning of this month, I was dreading this month. I was just dreading October. And not gonna lie, I was drinking, I don't like water. I don't drink a lot of water, but I was drinking copious amounts of unsweetened, no sugar, brewed black tea. I love me iced tea. Oh, I can drink that till the cows come home. I do drink that till the cows come home. And yeah, apparently brewed tea is not great for, brewed black tea is not great for kidney stones. And then apparently one of my favorite foods, spinach. I'm weird. Every day I'd eat a spinach with 2 cups of raw spinach, right? And balsamic vinegar and a hard-boiled egg. That's been my lunch forever. I had to give it up because apparently it was causing too much oxalate crystals, calcium oxalate crystals, I think it's called, in my system, and it's been too hard on my kidneys, and well, here we are. So yeah, that is fun going into this week, but I am trying to make changes to accommodate this new health stuff. And so went to Value Village the other day, bought myself a beautiful Starbucks iridescent cup. I think I paid $4 for this after. It was great because it was brand new. It felt like such a find. On the bottom, it had a price tag on it, and it was like marked at like $29.99. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's too. It made me feel great for paying $4 for this cup. But I thought, okay, if I've got to give up my tea at least for a while, and if I have to give up my spinach at least for a while, I am going to be drinking water in a very fancy cup. So just looking at this cup makes me feel happy, even if my body feels like crap. So yeah, there's that. But I will say that there is something freeing about knowing that, okay, it's finally here. I don't have to dread it anymore. It will be over. It will be over, hopefully, I'm looking at the clock, by Friday at 5 o'clock. The social worker comes at 1:30. I'm anticipating it lasting about 4 hours, because that's about average. Yeah, so hopefully by Friday at 5, everything will be over, and I can just take a deep breath and be relieved for another year. Mark's disability claim was originally denied, and so I did call, and I'm going to be honest, after it was denied the first time, I took a break. I had to press pause. When you are a caregiver, it is very easy for the person you're taking care of to become the focus of everything. It's just easy to slip into that. But that is so not healthy, because it's almost like as caregivers, we need extra care because we're constantly giving and giving and giving. And so for my own mental health, my own emotional health, and frankly, my own physical health, because I was worn out, and for Mark's health, because when a caregiver is, just completely running on fumes, running on empty, well, at least for me, I'll be honest, I can run out of patience, and I'm not the nicest person, and I need space. And I used to really get after myself for that. I used to feel guilty about that because Mark's special needs are not his fault. However, when I look at, oftentimes when I get frustrated with Mark, I have to think, okay, what is the function of the behavior? Mark is acting this way, but I shouldn't take it personally. It comes off personally. It's very easily to take it personally. Oftentimes, that's my first reaction. My reaction is, ooh, what a jerk. Why are you being like this? However, my response, I can intentionally think, okay, wait. It's not personal. He is using what he has and however he can act out in order to get something. So what is the function of why he's acting this way? And so that's how I try and gain more patience and clarity when interacting with Mark, specifically when he's acting out. Well, I decided to flip the script and apply that to myself because I don't like being mean. By nature, I'm not a mean person, But when I am worn down and I am raw and I am out of everything, I act differently. So, what is the function of that behavior? Well, there's nothing left. So, if I'm getting to that point, or if I can sense that, I try and take steps to realize, okay, wait, I have to put the brakes on. I need to take care of me. I need to do something differently because the way I'm currently going is not working. It's not going to work. It's at least not the way I want it to. It's not going to be effective. So when Mark got denied the disability, that was after a crap ton of paperwork. That was the beginning of getting him enrolled in what's called an ETP program, which is Employment Transition Program, because he's after 12th grade. So that was a crap ton of paperwork. He had a physical. He had part of his big toe amputated. Oh, he had eye appointment. I mean, I could go on and on and on. It was horrific. So no wonder I was running on fumes. I had to stop. And that included stopping everything with his disability and supplemental security income claim. It had to stop. And I remember going to Mark's physical at his pediatrician's office because Mark has special needs. His pediatrician will see him after the age of 18, I think up to the age of 22. So I have a little time there to find him another doctor. But the pediatrician raised an eyebrow at me and kept asking, and kept not asking, kept saying I should appeal, because he said he had so many patients who had a much higher IQ than Mark does, who were approved for disability and or supplemental security income. And he had no reason, he couldn't figure out why Mark had been denied. And I sure as heck didn't know. The letter that I received did not give any reason. It just said, we've reviewed your application, you've been denied. So the doctor keeps asking me for information I don't have and don't know, and I'm already frustrated. It's like, you don't think I want to know? And he kept saying, well, you need to apply, you need to appeal this. And at that point, I was, like I said, I had nothing left to give. Well, I've since I took a couple weeks off. I was just mom for a while. I was just doing bare necessities. I was helping to meet his needs, but I was not doing anything extra and above. That's just the way it was, because that's all I had at that point. And I slowly built up a reserve where I had the energy, had the ability to appeal the decision again. And here we are on the precipice of that interview. We've gotten farther than we did previously. And I was able to confirm that they've already received all the paperwork necessary from the school district where Mark has been going ever since he's been at school. And as well as the doctor, his pediatrician, as well as his pediatric neurologist. So they have everything. I think this is the last bit. But again, there's still a huge unknown. And heck, maybe I still have some PTSD from where I was at this summer. Because, yeah, it was a lot. So if you're a caregiver, I highly recommend being very intentional and very cautious about caring for you. It's not self-care. It's not. I hate using that term because it sounds like, oh, I'm going to go get a facial and I'm going to go get my nails done. And hey, no harm, no foul. If that's you and that's your level and need for self-care, that's fine. But for me, no, that's not me at all. For me, it really comes down to almost self-preservation. I need to get the right amount of sleep. I have physical needs. I have psoriatic arthritis. I need to manage my own, I don't like to call it a disability, but it is a chronic health condition that I've been managing. And I need time and energy to manage that so that I can take care of Mark. And truth be told, oftentimes when I get worn down, it feels like Mark's disabilities trump my own. And don't get me wrong, they are far more severe than mine. But I have needs and I have a life, and I'd like to think that I matter too. In fact, that's why I start all of my videos. I care and you matter. Because sometimes I feel like nobody cares because I'm busy caring for somebody else, but there's nobody there really caring for me. But as a caregiver, you need to step up and care for yourself and make the changes and do the things that matter to you. Which is why I'm so grateful that so many of you supported me in following my own dream and writing this children's book. Because I will say it has been so healthy to have something else to focus on than caring for Mark. And I think that's been a huge thing that's been missing in my life personally. It's been so singularly focused on just taking care of Mark to the point that it was like tunnel vision. And that is not healthy. Not healthy at all. So, to wrap things up here, what am I going to be doing tonight? I'm going to be taking me a hot bubble bath early. I'm getting in pajamas early. And I am going to be much more intentional about filling out my planner. Oh, you can see I have it marked. SSA phone interview and annual assessment. I'm going to be filling this out tonight in my jammies, laying on my bed, figuring out what it is I want to work on and focus on that is not Mark focused, that has nothing to do with Mark, but has the ability to give me to focus and spend time on other things so I don't feel like this entire week is a wash. And I'm making the changes, drinking my water. I am lamenting, I am missing my black tea. But I did get some herbal teas, so I'm going to try and enjoy those in the morning. What am I going to do this week without my spinach salads? I don't know. Maybe that's an excuse to have some pasta, right? Who knows? But that is what I am doing today. That is a look at my last week and what's coming up this week. Whatever you're facing, whatever's on your calendar, I hope you have a great day and a great week, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.